you like to try this? Yeah! Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Since I'm the teacher and I have...
It was hard on you when you have your best friend one day and then he's your enemy the next. It brings it out real quick in you.
I don't know if that's...
Some of the remarks were the kinds of things I would have wished I could have programmed into them if I had been able to program them. They're the things I would have wanted them to say. Some of the things were just mind-blowing.
You know, you hear these people talking about, you know, how they're, you know, different. They'd like to have them out of the country. I wish they'd go back to Africa, you know, and stuff. And sometimes I just wish I had that collar in my pocket. I could whip it out and put it on and say, wear this and put yourself in their place. I wish they would go what I went through, you know, do what I went through.
We was at a softball game a couple weekends ago, and there was a black young, hi, Verla, you know, and we hugged each other and everything, and some people really looked just like, what are you doing with him, you know? And you just get this burning feeling, sensation in you. You just want to let it out and put them through what we went through to find out they're not any different.
I still find myself sometimes when I see some people together and I see how they act, you know, I think, well, that's black. And then right in the next second, I don't even finish the thought. I'm saying, well, I've seen whites do it, I've seen other people do it. It's not just the black. Everyone acts differently. It's just a different color is what hits you first. And then later, as I said, I don't even finish that thought before I remember back when I was like that. And then I remember, not, you know, everyone acts the same way. It's just your way of thinking is the difference.
Like when my grandparents or somebody, and they start talking about old times, and they say the Japs and all this and that, and they start, you know, holding that against them, I think, how'd you like to have been them? Japanese Americans get thrown into this camp just because they happen to be part Japanese. You know, I just said, you calm down and think about it. But when they get older, they set in their ways, and it's not going to change.
When you get older.
I'll be set in my ways, but they're different than their ways. When people
I was
get
absolutely enthralled. Sandy Dolman's statements that when my son comes home with the word nigger and the other things that he hears downtown, I say to him, listen, that isn't the way we judge people. You don't judge people by how they look. You judge them by what's on their inside, not their outside.
I'm glad that she's teaching him not to hate, because even though he does hear this from the other people, if he goes home and he thinks, well, Mom and Dad like the black people, I'm going to like them too, so I don't think he's going to pick nothing bad up out of it.
You chose your husband well.
He chose me. You chose her well.
Little kids will take and, you know, they'll listen to a lot of other people too, and so they're going to end up kind of confused over it.
But
you know,
if
right
she keeps on telling
Yeah.
him, is he going to be the kind of person you kids are, or is he going to be the kind who judge people by the
Well, he'll know somewhat right from wrong.
He'll know
You know that he won't.
but he'll have the ideas. He won't be judging them by their color, but he won't know what we know fully, having been through it.
He won't learn the prejudice from us.
He won't learn prejudice first-handed.
Yeah. He won't learn to be prejudiced from us. I mean, they won't learn to discriminate between people from us. He might hear it from others, but never from us.
Okay, what's it like to be married to somebody like that?
When I was going to marry Sheila, I knew for my future that I was going into the military. At first, I thought, is she going to be able to handle being with all the different nationalities? And then I read the book.
Class Divided.
Class Divided, before we got married and before I joined the Army. And I said, hey, she's not going to have any problems.
Should every child have the exercise, or should every teacher?
Everybody, not just...
I think every school ought to implement something like this program in their early stages of education.
If Jane Elliott's lesson in discrimination changed the way these young people feel about discrimination and racism, it also had a totally unexpected result.
The second year I did this exercise, I gave little spelling tests, math tests, reading tests 2 weeks before the exercise. each day of the exercise and 2 weeks later. And almost without exception, the students' scores go up on the day they're on the top, down on the day they're on the bottom, and then maintain a higher level for the rest of the year after they've been through the exercise. We sent some of those tests to Stanford University, to the psychology department, and they did a sort of an informal review of them, and they said that what's happening here is kids' academic ability is being changed in a 24-hour period, and that isn't possible, but it's happening. Something very strange is happening to these children because suddenly they're finding out how really great they are, and they are responding to what they know now they are able to do. And it has happened consistently with third graders.
The film made of Jane Elliott's third graders in 1970 has been widely used with students and teachers, and by government, business, and labor organizations concerned about human relations. Perhaps the most unusual use of it is here at Green Haven Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison in Stormville, New York. Here, in a sociology course taught by Professor Dwayne W. Smith of Dutchess Community College, his almost exclusively black and Hispanic classes have been seeing the film for more than 10 years.
What I'd like to do is introduce the subject of prejudice and discrimination through this film, called The Eye of the Storm.
Respect, they accepted the views that was being given to them. But I think at the end of the lesson, they could clearly see that prejudices and other forms of discrimination are things that people build within their minds, that they're not actual physical barriers that say, yo, you can't cross the street.